All right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sports. Yes, been down and out for 1 week due to some injury copped up during training and getting set. All right, just so happy to be back in action. And I want to say a big thank you to the man who held fort while I was down and out talking about Samuel Odi, who gave you all the big stories in the exciting world of sport, making sure that you got all the top stories in the Euros, tennis, and all sports in between. And definitely King of Sport is back and in full control and ready to dish out all the big stories on the home front, the Euros and everywhere. I was talking about Paris 2024 is upon us already, and everybody's talking about the Olympics as we reach the business end of Euro 2024. That's how I make you welcome to today's edition of the program, Talk Sport. I'm not alone. I'm with the man who does the business away and who does the biggest business of breaking it down, talking analysis. Samuel Odi is on my left side of the pitch. All right, Samuel, how?
It's just good to shake your hand, my man.
All right, nice to be back.
It's good. It's actually very, very good to see you because it was. We did miss you, but not so much. So it was great that we filled in and you were able to take a time to get back and then you look great, my man. You look great.
All right, let's begin talking sport already. Let's begin from the sports minister who tells us some very big stories. Let's tell you that the sports. Let's talk about the minister of sports in Nigeria, John Eno, has assured Nigerians will have a good outing in France when the Paris 2024 Olympics begins. The games will be from July 26 and to August 11, and stated that the ministry was putting the final touches on Team Nigeria's preparations plans for the upcoming Olympics alongside the Nigerian Olympic Committee and other relevant federations. In a statement signed by Diana Mary Insan, a special advisor on media and to the sports minister, highlighted the extensive efforts being made to ensure that Team Nigeria is well prepared to compete for honors at the prestigious global event, while emphasizing the importance of pre-Olympic camping for athletes to achieve focus, fine-tuning, and serene environment devoid of distraction. Team Nigeria's Olympic preparations ahead of their participation in the women's who have been paired with top group alongside Brazil, Spain, Japan, held their first training session in their Sevilla camp on Sunday. All right, that's jumping from minister into the Super Falcons there. All right, let's look. The sports minister, first of all, saying all things will be put in place to ensure Nigeria does well at Olympics. But are we really satisfied with the pre-election, Olympics preparations before the Olympics proper?
People like you from the South like the word election so much. So I'm not surprised that you maybe
get yourself for the desk ahead of time.
So looking at it, I was expecting to say everything has been put in place, will be put in place, because in the next 2 weeks, Olympics is ready. All right. So though the Super Falcons have actually traveled to Spain last week to go get themselves ready, but they need every other thing, all hands needs to be on deck. But the support that we've been getting from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration, starting off from January up to now, has been recommendable, and we've been seeing progress so far from our athletes, and then how amazingly well that the Super Falcons get to qualify. So now the remaining parts now the finishing touches now should be placed now so that these guys would be able to go perform well, despite the fact that we had a little bit of shortage, but Randy Waldron was able to find replacements immediately. So I was excited for that swift response and how he was able to get a representative for one of the players who got injured. So on that note, now we would say yes, the sport ministry we've seen a change despite from what we've been seeing before. So we are seeing development. At the end of the day, we are more like Oliver Twist. We always want more. So the government and the Ministry of Sport should also do more and get these players more ready for the task at hand.
All right, getting ready for the task at hand. We are just not talking about the Super Falcons for the Olympics. We also also know that the women's national team, talking about the basketball team, you call them the Tigress, have arrived in Germany to formally begin preparations for the women's basketball tournament of the Olympics. The Nigerian side is placed in a very difficult group alongside Canada, Australia, and host France. I know you love basketball. Let's look at the Tigress. 9 times African champions. This is a chance for them to also show that they're just not African champions, but when they get to the global scene, they can win big countries like the US.
Yes, these ladies have actually, most of them play their professional games, apart from Halima and the rest who play locally home, but most of them compete with these ladies in the US, France, and Germany on a regular basis. So what I want to see more now is just more of synergy within the foreign-based players and the home-based players, because when we have that synergy and that chemistry, I think they are going to excel more, they are going to perform more. So looking at basketball now, the level of preparation that has been going on locally for the next generation of basketball players, both male and female, has been top-notch. Just weeks ago, a tournament was concluded, which was actually amazing. We saw the best of the best go head-to-head when they played on the 12th of June. And again, for Olympics 2024, these ladies have as well been performing and been preparing so well. I was actually with a few of them yesterday. No, not yesterday, on Saturday morning, yes, before I came here to also handle business. So their spirits are all high, and we've seen support from the sports minister, and then it's just amazing. And then the ladies playing, the other ladies playing their professional game in the US and co are all meeting. They all met in Germany, and camp and then chemistry is beginning to spike up.
Let's look at we've got France, we've got Canada, we've got Australia as our opponents. No doubt Canada comes as a very big threat. We also have Australia as a big threat. For the Tigress, any chances among these 3 countries that the Tigress can qualify from that group?
Yes, I think they can, with the level of performance and their level of form, fitness now, I think they can get salvage a win ahead of Canada and Australia. I think the major threats in that group now is just the Team USA, because Team USA has always been a problem when it comes to basketball.
All right, so we're wishing the Tigress, not the Super Falcons this time, the very best as they face Canada, Australia, and France host France in the Olympics tournament. Talking basketball now, it's going to be a very tough one facing the host country, but we trust the Tigress, who are 9 times African champions, to do the needful and secure all victories. Let's move on to the Super Falcons. So we'll take you to Spain, where the big story says ahead of their participation in the women's football event of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, the Super Falcons held their first training session in their Sevilla camp on Sunday. The games will be held from July 26 to August 11. We talked about that already, but just to let you know that the Super Falcons camp opened in the Spanish city on Friday and didn't hold any training section until Sunday due to small number of players in camp, following reports that most of the players are yet to hit camp. Perhaps the numbers are just swelling. In a video released, let's tell you that Super Falcons Show X showed that few players and officials strolling into the training ground. We had the likes of Rashidat Ajibade, we had goalkeeper Tuchuku Olehe, Deborah Abiodun, we had Tony Payne, and Rivers Angels keeper Morifat Ademola, and some other officials. Let's look at the fact that the camp not yet full, even though we know that Chamaka Nadozie is still there. Gifts Monday is Chidinma Okeke and Christy Uche Ibe is also in camp. Are you worried the slow pace of Super Falcons players in camp?
Yes, that's worrisome, because if you look at the Super Eagles, so we had a challenge because of the slow pace of arrival to camp. So it was one of the reasons Mr. Finidi just says the team were not able to succeed and then win those 2 straight matches that they needed to win. So chemistry is very important. These players arriving and being timely, it's very, very important. Why is it that important? Because of chemistry. We know you've been playing together for a while, but you've been away from each other for a reasonable amount of time. So you need to find chemistry again and build it, because looking at I almost digress to the Euros, but I'll just stay put on that. But the chemistry now needs to come back together, because for all of them to be able to understand, okay, if I make this run, this is what I mean by this run. If I give this sign, this is what I mean by this sign. Because all of these small things are super key to help a team win. So this is not welcoming, this is not encouraging, but we need a change, given the fact that these guys are all in Europe and some in the US, so it's not so far for you to just, fly down to Spain and then get your things together. So we've not heard from the players what the reasons were for the delay, but we hope that they get their acts right and then just get to work.
All right, a very sad commentary, but just to let you know that Nigeria will tackle Brazil, Spain, and Japan in that order at this year's tournament, and their first game is against the might of Brazil, which comes up at Stade de Bordeaux on July 25th, before confrontations with Spain July 28th and Japan July 31st. Keep that in your diary as the Super Falcons face Brazil July 25th and July 28th they face the Spaniards, and Japan is their date on July 31st. All right, we're still talking Super Falcons. Let's let you know that Super Falcons defender Ashley Promptere has expressed disappointment after failing to recover in time for an injury that has ruled her out of the forthcoming 2024 Olympics. Let's let you know Promptere suffered an injury in March and was forced to miss Nigeria's last round of qualifiers against South Africa. Very sad commentary there. The former Leicester City player has not featured for the Super Falcons since her impressive performance at the 2023 World Cup, jointly hosted by Australia and New Zealand. The versatile defender was initially invited by the Randy Wardrobe for the game against Bayana, but opted out after picking up an injury while on duty for her Al Ittihad team in Saudi Arabia. In her absence, Super Falcons secured their spot for the Olympics by defeating South Africa 1-0 in Abuja and holding them goalless in Pretoria in South Africa. In June, Promptere took her social media to upload videos of her recovery from injury, and as she hoped to return ahead of the Olympic Games in Paris. But the 26-year-old shared videos of a training session with fitness and rehabilitation coach Warren Williams on her Instagram page. How much would we miss Ashley? Ashley has been amazing. She loves Nigeria. She plays with lots of passion.
Yes, lots of passion. That's the right word to use. But we are really, really going to miss her. And then we hope that the effect wouldn't be so much, because we have other great guys who also, great ladies. I said great guys. Great ladies who also fit into those roles very well. So Randy Wardrobe also is supposed to pick out someone who he has done, but I can't really put my finger on the name right now of the player that he picked. But I trust his judgment, and I'm sure he's going to find a way around the situation and be able to salvage the moment and get us someone else who is going to replace Ashley. Ashley is amazing. The introduction of Ashley and Tony Payne was amazing, and Chidozin Nadozie, who is also the goalkeeper. These guys, their introduction to the Super Falcons has helped reshape Payne to the team, and we've been seeing results so far. So this ladies are champions, and they are looking not just to go and represent the Super Eagles in the Olympics. They are going and looking to get to the podium. So I'm excited for that.
All right, we'll miss Ashley Promptere, who is a England-born Nigerian and has been in fine form since moving to Saudi Arabia last summer after Nigeria exited the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in the round of 16, losing to the three Lionesses on penalties. But we wish her the very best, and we know that the Falcons will be doing the very best. Let's move on. We're still talking Paris 2024. Let's talk about this lady. She's a sprinter. Her name is Olayinka Olajide. Yes, she's in the news this morning. Let's let you know that Nigerian sprinter Olayinka Olajide is basking in the euphoria of surpassing her goals on her debut season ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. After cutting her teeth at different athletics meet, Olajide broke into the scene during the Athletics Federation of Nigeria trials at the 2023 African Games in Asaba, Delta State in February, and claimed the women's 100 meters title with a personal best of 11 minutes 19 seconds. Since then, the 21-year-old hasn't looked back, winning medals after every competition. She has represented Nigeria in 3 months and also made the AFN's 35 athlete roster for the Olympic Games. After winning the 100 meters title in Asaba, Olajide went on to claim 3 shades of medals at the African Games in Ghana. She won bronze in the women's 100 meters, silver in the 200 meters, and capped it with a gold in the women's 4x100 meters, running the second leg in the quartet that also had Justina. Let's look at this lady. Amazing.
Alajide, I call her the jet lady because she always takes off the jet when she's running. She's super fast and super amazing. So setting her own record and even breaking it.
Yes.
Like that shows how ready and how prepared she is for the journey or for the task at hand. So this is what we expect to see from all of the athletes and also the players as well. Everybody competing currently now that would be competing in the Olympics now. This is the expectation. She is setting the bar. She's leading the pack and she's setting the bar. So there is nothing like those following her behind not to also put in the work. So with this form of leadership, every other person is also going to be compelled to put in more work. So this is just amazing from what we are seeing from the athletes. She's going, obviously her mindset is set for a gold medal, and this is what you just see when someone's mindset is set at something. She set a record for herself and then broke it, and then it's amazing that she's doing that. I'm happy for her, and Olajide is ready to just take over the scene.
All right, like he said, the jet lady Olayinka Olajide, she produced her relay exploit for Nigeria during the World Relays in Bahamas, where the women's 4x100 meters team sealed their ticket to the Paris Olympic Games before adding the African Championship gold in the same event last month in Cameroon. Ahead of the Olympics, Olajide believes the effort of her coach will keep yielding result as Team Nigeria prepare for their training camp in Germany. We're still talking Olympics. Let's move from Olajide. Let's go to Onyekwere. Yes, Onyekwere is in the news this morning. She's big, she's bulky, but this lady, she's amazing. Let's tell you that Nigerian women's discus thrower Chioma Onyekwere is delighted to have made Nigeria list for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. She shared her excitement in an Instagram post on Saturday, a few hours after the Athletics Federation of Nigeria announced a list of 35 athletes to fly the country's flag at the quadrennial event scheduled to take place from July 26 to August 11 in 16 other cities spread across the metropolitan country of France, plus one substitute in Tahiti. Let's look at Onyekwere Chioma. She's, despite her size, she's amazing when it comes to discus throwing.
Yes, like despite her size, you made emphasis on size a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know why
because she's massive, and when you see her, how massive she is, you don't expect her to have the kind of swing she has. But when she places her hands on those discus, oh boy, the discus flies.
It flies. She's strong, she's tough, and she looks big. So. Yeah. This is great because most of these guys, they came back home. I like the fact that the NFF, like the Federation of Athletics now in Nigeria, had to make these guys that are even abroad come back home, prove yourself to us that yes, if we give you this slot, you would be able to go and perform well. So we don't want to I like the fact that everybody is picking out people that have track records of what they've been doing. So this is great that she is performing at this level, and then representing Nigeria is also super, amazing for her because it's a privilege. There are 1,001 persons that would want to go fly the green, white, green flag, but they are not getting the opportunity. So for her now, she's privileged. So for all of these actions now, Onyekwere is happy. Yes, Team Nigeria is as well. We are all happy for her, but we want her not to just get that excitement into her head. She knows that this opportunity that was given to her shows that there's so much work that needs to be done, and we expect her to, go there and show workings and leave cho.
All right, leave cho. And let's tell you that her excitement is understandable after finishing third at the 2024 African Senior Athletics Championship, which was recently concluded in Douala, Cameroon, throwing 57.93 meters to finish behind compatriot Ashley Onamba with 59.30 and Obiageli Pamela Amechi with 58.80. Onyekwere qualified for the 2020 Olympics but did not participate, being one of the 10 Nigerian athletes disqualified for not undergoing the required number of pre-event doping tests. She won gold at the 2018 and 2022 editions of the African Championship, the 2019 African Games, and the 2022 Commonwealth Games, making her the first Nigerian to achieve the feat in the event. How much do you expect from Onyekwere?
She has gold medals running through her veins. So
well said. Well said. We're expecting gold all over.
Gold medals, yes. So we're expecting more gold medals, just like other fighters doing, other athletes as well, winning and then getting gold medals. If you look at from the track record from January and from previous years, all of our athletes have not come anything short than a silver medal. So with all these things now, the momentum is high. Since they've gotten silver, they used to be bronze medal and silver. They now upgraded and then put in more work, and now we are seeing them winning more gold medals. So now we don't expect anything less than gold medals. If you must get short, that means you're dropping down to a silver, which we hope not to get more of, but we want to see more of gold this time in the Olympics.
All right, Nigeria, Team Nigeria is on fire. Tell them we told you so that Team Nigeria is going to be on fire at the Olympics and we're going to win all medals at sight. Be careful, the rest of the world. Nigeria is coming with so much power for the Olympics. All right, let's move on. Let's talk some transfer news before we go for the quick break. Let's take you into the round later game. You call it the king of sports, football. Let's say that Lazio have confirmed the signing of Nigerian midfielder Fisayo Dele Bashiru from Hayaspor on a season-long deal with an obligation to buy. If he impresses, he's going to impress, I assure you, Lazio. The 23-year-old who shone with the Turkish Super League last season, scoring 9 goals and providing 6 assists, passed his medical in Rome on Friday and completed necessary paperwork on Saturday, kick-starting his career. The former Manchester City Academy graduate, who also had a stint with Sheffield Wednesday, expressed his excitement about the move as he looks to make significant impact at the Stadio Olimpico. Lazio official announcement on Saturday was met with enthusiasm from fans who said he is likely to do Lazio a lot of good. And the Nigerian international recently made his debut for the Super Eagles, scoring against South Africa at the World Cup qualifier, where he wore the number 10 jersey. Do you think Lazio is a good gamble by Lazio, and are they likely to sign him, looking at who Bashiru is?
Bashiru has so much firepower, and looking at the track record, lots of Nigerians have done well with Lazio and are still doing well in the Serie A and in Europe totally. So generally, so I feel they're just, testing the waters with him to see what he can bring to the table. With his results of not performing in all of the competitions, and again, having scored goals and providing 6 assists, that means it shows something that I can't just score goals, I can also get my teammates involved in making them also participate and score goals in competition. So for Dele Bashiru now, who is performing like this, and then wearing the number 10 jersey for the Super Eagles, I think he performed, and then he shows that, yes, I deserve to be here, and then he proved to us, and then he shows us a reason that, yes, I deserve to own the jersey, to have a space with the Super Eagles. So I'm sure he's also going to do the same thing with Lazio and tell them, yes, you got me here on loan, but you would definitely want to keep me.
All right, let's let you know that Lazio secured the talented midfielder for an initial loan fee of around 2 million euros, with further 4 million euros to be paid to make the deal permanent if certain conditions are met. The total deal, including potential add-ons, could rise to 7 million euros, showcasing Lazio's commitment to integrating the young talent into their squad. Lazio's manager Igor Tudor, who took over after Maurizio Sarri's departure, has been keen on reinforcing the team's midfield, and Dele Bashiru fits perfectly into Tudor's vision of dynamic and creative midfield. The Nigerian versatile player is capable of playing both as an attacking and central midfielder, and will be crucial as Lazio aims a strong showing at the domestic and European competitions. Just to let you know that Dele Bashiru joins a notable list of Nigerian players, like Odi has said, who have donned the Lazio jersey. We've got Oganyo Onazi, Stephen Makinwa, we've got Sheyi Adeleke, we've got Daniel Ola, all had spells with the Italian club, with Onazi being the most prominent, making 110 appearances, scoring 7 goals between 2012 and 2016. So Bashiru, go there, prove your worth. And I think that's where we're going to go for a very quick break. And when we return from the break, we've got a lot of other big stories making the rounds, as Manchester United is still looking at signing Victor Osimhen and other big stories after this break. Stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work.
All right, welcome back from the break. You're still watching Talk Sport, and we've still got lots of transfer big stories there for you. Let's take you to Old Trafford, where the big story tells us that Manchester United are back in the hunt for Victor Osimhen, and Napoli have told the Red Devils what they want to hear, which is offsetting the £110 million release clause in the contract of the Nigerian striker. Let's let you know that the 25-year-old has been on Manchester United's radar since last summer, as Erik ten Hag put signing a new centre forward to replace Cristiano Ronaldo, who joined the Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr. Meanwhile, options were thin in the ground for the Reds last summer as Ronaldo's unexpected departure midway through the season. However, the depth up front is arguably even more shallow now that Anthony Martial has left on a free transfer. Meanwhile, Zole Rasmus Højlund is the only remaining recognized first-team striker at Old Trafford, and the quest is to find a player who can accompany the Dane in the attack. Last summer, Napoli's Victor Osimhen was on the list of strikers who were targeted as additions. Is this where this man might likely go?
Yes, looking at the fact that Marcus Rashford might be leaving Manchester United soon because of the fact that he is falling out with Erik ten Hag and the Inos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And again, his performance last season did not speak so much about him, and then his character off and on the pitch as well did not speak well about him. So this is the more reason why the door now is open for Marcus Rashford to leave Manchester United. And no, we've not gotten reports saying any team wants him at this point. So probably we just hope that what happened to Pogba wouldn't happen to him. So now looking at Victor Osimhen now, if he is going to fit in with the style of Manchester United, yes, I think he's going to fit in because, well, if we could remember when Rashford came into Manchester United, he was aggressive and very, very strong. So he tends to like be a whole lot of threats for defenders and then struggle, get the ball and score. So I think that is the format and that's the angle now Erik ten Hag is going for, and then looking for a striker who can be able to perform at that level. If we look at the track records of the strikers that Manchester United have had, looking at Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, even when Ibrahimovic was there, and the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo as well, they play with guys that have, you know, strong and firepower. So with he fitting, yes, I know he's going to fit in because now Manchester United are all like rebuilding.
What about the money? The money part of it.
The money part of it now might just be the only clause now in the situation if they don't get to pay. Because earlier we were talking about giving out what was his name now? Marcus Honjo, and then adding some money for Victor Osimhen. But at this point now, if they are willing and they really want him, if Erik ten Hag and the Inos really want Victor Osimhen, then they should pay for him because he has proven himself, you know, in Napoli twice. Even this past season that he wasn't totally healthy, he was still able to emerge as the second highest goal scorer in the whole league. So this is amazing. He is a great player, he is a great striker, and he might be the puzzle that that Manchester United are missing.
We know that Paris Saint-Germain at a point were interested in Victor Osimhen. Which way should he sway to if PSG comes calling?
I would say he should sway to Chelsea because Chelsea are also in the mix. Are also in the mix still to get him. So he's also going to fit in well with Chelsea because of the style of play, counter attack, and then.
Well, in terms of playing time,
now,
which team would offer him that opportunity more?
I think Manchester United will offer him that playing time. PSG too might offer him that playing time, but I think he's going to get more of playing time with Manchester United.
All right, we wish the very best for Victor Osimhen. Meanwhile, let's just let you know that the Premier League seems to be an ideal next step for Osimhen, but the Reds will need to be wary of overpaying. Meanwhile, the Laurentiis has hinted there is a big release clause inserted into the Nigerian contract, potentially as much as £110 million. However, the longer this window goes on, the longer Napoli may have to accept the will needed to accept an offer lower than his clause to avoid angering the striker. Can Victor Osimhen push for him to leave if he's going to be a problem? Where do you see him pushing towards? At a point last 2 weeks or last week, we saw Arsenal seem to be in the running for Victor Osimhen. Is he going to get confused? Which team should be the best option for him?
He's
got 4 great teams.
Yeah, he's got 4 great teams. Now, it looks, there's all players have a dream team that they want to play for when they're growing up. So it depends on which his dream team is, at this point in time. And now, looking at the money aspect, Victor Osimhen is worth every penny that is being on the table right now. Okay. He's worth it because looking at Declan Rice, Arsenal paid almost 100 plus for Declan Rice, and then why Arsenal opted for not taking Victor Osimhen was because of the clause. So they had to now opt for another different Victor who is not Victor Osimhen. So looking at Manchester United now, we've known Manchester United to be big spenders. When they want the player, they go ahead and get the players. Now, looking at Victor Osimhen now, I think he's open for a new challenge. He's open for something different. I think that's the main reason why he wants to leave.
Do you think it's a team that wants him the more that would determine where he goes in terms of if a team shows they're willing to pay the cash, he would now go?
Yes, I think at this point now, we just hope he doesn't get to that position where it will be the highest bid that takes him, and then
regardless of where, other options, other
consideration, meaning he won't get there and be happy to I feel I'm home, and then I can connect with the fans and then express and then perform very well. So if he gets to that position now, he might end up not going to where he wants to go to. But at this point, I would say Manchester United is a great team, despite the fact that I'm a Chelsea fan and we don't get to see eye to eye. But I get to see eye to eye with my guy Samson, despite. Okay, we're
going to get back to that. There's something cricket about that.
Despite the fact that he's a Manchester United fan. But at this point now, I'm looking at the fact that
for his career
now,
and for the Super Eagles also, because whatever happens in the club would affect
him. So I would say he should be in England, where he would have to battle with the best of the best, because outside playing in England, the next big place you play now is in Spain. And if he shows track records and perform the same way he was performing in Napoli, I'm certain that the Galacticos will be going for him, because Ancelotti likes black players. And because of how strong they are. There's just so much to say about Victor Osimhen.
All right, but the only sad thing to say about him is that he got into a fight with ex-international Finidi George, and we hope that will be sorted out in the coming days and weeks. All right, we're still talking transfer business, and we're still looking at Nigerian players making the rounds. Let's tell you that Nigerian midfielder Al-Hassan Ibrahim is fascinated by the prospect of playing alongside Nigerian teammates Chidozie Awaziem and Bruno Onyemachi. The 27-year-old shared his thoughts on his first interview following his unveiling by the Portuguese club after joining them on a 2-year contract from Belgian First Division side Beerschot on Thursday. Being the first interview, let's let you know that he joined Boavista. Boavista is also a team where the goal's father, Rashidi Yekini, also did play for at a point. But let's look at Al-Hassan going to Portugal, Boavista, from Belgium to Portugal. Do you think the Portuguese league is a little bit higher currently than the Belgian league?
I think yes, it's a bit higher because we tend to see more of Portuguese players now even performing well in the Euros.
Yeah, true.
You see, even those that are playing in the Portuguese side that are from the North Americans are also, being the lead guys for their countryside. So it shows that, okay, the competition there is getting intense and very, very competitive. So for Ibrahim now, who is also, meeting up with Nigerians in that same Boavista, I think he's going to settle more and then have it at the back of his mind that, okay, I have my brothers here with me and they are going to give me all the support that I need. So now it boils down to him how much do you want it? How much do you want to perform? How much do you want your name to be in the landmark of Portuguese football? And then from there, when you conquer them, then probably he might also find himself coming down to Serie A or even the Premier League.
All right, we wish Al-Hassan Ibrahim the very best, and if he does well, like Odi said, he might also play for FC Porto, who are Champions League winners, and other sporting teams in the Portuguese league. All right, let's come back, sweet home. Let's go to the team they call the Arsenal of Nigerian football. Bender Insurance is in the news this morning. Let's tell you that Bender Insurance goalkeeper Almas Obasoge, who has been linked with a move away from the club, says he is not tempted to leave the Benin Arsenal yet. All right, the former Nigerian Premier League champions Rivers United and Eyimba are said to be in contact with the shot stopper ahead of next season. Meanwhile, Eyimba first choice keeper Ojo Olorunleke has departed for Al Merrikh in Sudan, just as Rivers United haven't been able to sort out the contract of Victor Sochima for a new deal. Obasoge, who kept 18 clean sheets, a new MPFL record last season, is the prime target to replace both goalkeepers in the wake of rumors linking him with both clubs. Obasoge has revealed that he will take his time to exit insurance. In the last 2 seasons, Obasoge has been a formidable figure between the sticks for Bender Insurance, showcasing his shot stopping skills and contributing significantly to his team's defensive stability. Let's look at this man. He should be going to a bigger team with an eye for the Super Eagles and for looking at Rivers United and Eyimba. Which team should sit well for Obasoge, who is a record breaker, 18 clean sheets in last season? That's amazing.
Looking at Rivers United, Eyimba are the 9-time champions of, we know that how amazing, how big Eyimba.
Yeah, and 2 times African champion.
2 times African champion. So we know how amazing these guys are. They are very big, but now can you handle the pressure that is coming up there? Okay, looking at Rivers United now, we have the former Super Eagles coach and the former coach of Eyimba, Finidi George there, who is also someone that can, open you up to other opportunities. And then wherever Finidi George is, the media is going to be there to see what is happening. That means there's also an advantage for the players as well.
True.
So there's just so much now. It's just depend on where would he fit in. Looking at the track record of Eyimba United, fine, they are amazing. Looking at Rivers United, they are also great guys.
And Eyimba has given us great goalkeepers. Vincent Eyimba,
yes,
from Eyimba.
That angle, those angles as well are also going to be looked into, because we're looking from the standpoint of the goalkeeping coaching crew of Eyimba United. They tend to bring out the best of the best kind of goalkeepers, like you rightly mentioned, Vincent Onyema. But now, can you fit in with the pressure? Because now, Eyimba, we are very close to winning the title last season. Now, they would definitely want to go back. Now, Rivers United almost came close because, they had a back and forth because of the fact that they were playing in the continent. So now they are going to be coming for 2 reasons, which is going to be one, to win the Nigerian Premier League and as well find their way back to the continent. So at this point now, it boils down to where he feels he's going to be home and where he feels he's going to perform very well and then, mix well and then have chemistry with the player. So for me, I would say, because of the media, and then the media plays so much role in terms of football and everything that one does this time, I would say he should go to Rivers United.
All right, for me, I would say Obasoge, head towards Eyimba. Eyimba is the place to go. One, because Eyimba has given us great goalkeepers in Vincent Eyimba. Let him follow that tradition. Like you rightly pointed out, we've got Finidi George, who is XY Super Eagles coach. That's going to give him another plus. And Eyimba, 2-time African champions, he should be in Eyimba. Also, let's also let you know there's some similarities between Vincent Eyimba and Obasoge, because his brilliance in saving penalties also helped his team win their first major title in 43 years, the 2023 Federation Cup, courtesy of a 1-0 win over Enugu Rangers in the final. Let's also let you know that Obasoge made 34 appearances for Insurance in the just concluded season and was not breached in 18 games, beating his closest challenger Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars and Doma United's Kingdom Osai, who both had 15, as well as a breathtaking Adewale Adeyinka's record of 16 clean sheets, which was set in the 2020-2021 season. I think we shouldn't have problems when it comes to the goalkeeping department. We've got 3 great goalkeepers from last season, and so the national teams should be aware of not looking for, and Stanley Nwabali should also be careful.
Stanley Nwabali needs to always, like, whenever he's called upon, he has to always put his best, not to feel that, yes, you're number one, you're popular, people know you and all of that. But these guys now are hungry. You know, they want to make a name for themselves. They want to, you know, put the name of their family in the landmark and, you know, perform very well. So we shouldn't have so much concern, and we just hope that these goalkeepers don't drop form. But one thing about goalkeeping now is the more they advance in age, the more experience they get, they gather. So I would say, yes, the Super Eagles and then the NFF, I think they should, you know, rest a little and just maybe improve more on the coaching grill for the goalkeeping department. Since we have Victor Enyama now as one of the head technical coach of the goalkeeping crew of the Super Eagles, I think the next future for goalkeeping department, I think that angle is settled for now.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk some Olympics again, as Paris will remind people of the value of hosting the Olympics. That's what Paris 2024 we're looking at, says the top officials of the Tokyo 2020 Games, which were delayed by a year because of the COVID and tainted by corruption. Let's say that Siko Hashimoto, who was the president of the Tokyo Olympics Organizing Committee, told AFP that the Japanese public was bitterly split over hosting the games during the pandemic, but Hashimoto hopes Paris can showcase sport as its best this month and make people in the French capital happy that their city is hosting the event. Hashimoto admitted that many people in Japan questioned why the country went ahead with the event during the pandemic. Meanwhile, the Tokyo Olympics were held under strict anti-virus rules, which spectators banned from most venues and street festivities scrapped in order to minimize the risk at the games. But let's look at currently, we're looking at the Olympics. We're not in the pandemic. What do we expect in Paris 2024?
You know, lots of competition, you know, because some athletes didn't get to, you know, be there, and sometimes some of the athletes, now this is like their first time looking at, mostly from the Nigerian aspect. Most time this is like their first time of representing the country in that light. So Paris 2024 now, everybody's going to come out with the firepower, with the mentality that, yes, I want to get to the podium. But at this point now, it's going to be who has done more work, who wants it more, who has the ability to endure, and then put in, when you're getting tired, you tell yourself, no, that I need to, like, you know, go ahead. So now that's what we want to see. We want to see, you know, a high level of performance, and then let it just don't be, you know, people sweeping gold medals without showing so much work. So now I just feel I want it to be very, very competitive, and it has always been competitive, but now we want to see more. We want to be sitting at the edge of our seat watching from home and be saying, oh wow, this person almost got there, this person, you know, we want records to be broken, you know, and then new ones set for the next Olympics.
All right, that's what we want. Let's move on to the next talking point. Olise signs for Bayern. That's where we're moving next, as the big story tells us that Bayern Munich have signed French forward Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. The German giant announced on Sunday. German magazine Kicker reported Bayern paid a release clause of 70 million euros to the Premier League club to secure Olise's services on a 5-year deal. Olise, who's 22 years, completed a medical in the Bavarian capital on Sunday, and Olise has represented France youth teams and will play for the Le Blues under coach Thierry Henry at the Paris Olympics in August. Olise scored 10 goals and provided 6 assists in 19 Premier League games last season. What he missed, he was
Nigerian
gone.
That Nigerian gone right under our nose.
but for Bayern, are you impressed with the way Bayern is going? First of all, they shocked the world of football, appointing Vincent Kompany as their coach, and slowly but surely they're picking players. Michael Olise is definitely a good buy for them.
It's definitely, I think they're trying to use him to replace Jadon Sancho, who they are saying they don't want to replace. If they want to have him, they still want to have him on loan, but Manchester United are looking to sell. Though Sancho now is looking to head to Juventus, but for Olise now, I feel he's going to be a good fit, because we saw his track record. We've seen what he's doing in England and how deadly he is when he comes down from that left flank. So I think he's going to fit in well, and having Vincent Kompany, who is also an amazing coach, just that he didn't get it right with Burnley this season. But now, like you said, it was very, very shocking for, you know, this world of football to see Bayern gets him as their head coach. So now let's just see what happens. But for Olise is a great guy, and it's sad that we missed out and he's gone. Terry Henry now has the good laugh.
All right, let's move on. It's not just the Euro 2024 going on. Let's tell you, in case you didn't know, Copa America is going on. That's their own version of the African Cup of Nations is going on. And yesterday was an upset as Uruguay beat Brazil on penalties 4-2 to reach the semi-finals of the Copa America after an ugly game ended goalless on Saturday. Uruguay, who finished the game with 10 men after Nahitan Nandez was sent off in the 74th minute, will face Colombia in the North Carolina in their semi-final on Wednesday. Colombia, now unbeaten in 27 games, beat Panama 5-0. The other quarterfinal earlier played. Let's look at Colombia and Uruguay. And for Brazil, what's happening to the Brazilian national team?
I think they are missing out, and they are not just paying too much attention on their local scene, because we used to know what Brazil is about. Whenever Brazil was playing back in the day, it's just whatever team that they catch is a sweep. When we had the likes of Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kaká, Robinho, all of those guys. So, but now we don't know what's actually happening. But I think teams, both club side and country side, do go through rebuilding systems. So I guess that's the phase that they are now. And then other countries as well, like we rightly say, and the way the Europe 2024 is going, on the underdogs now are the ones advancing to the semi-finals, and also that is just what's happening with football worldwide. So those big teams are actually finding it hard to like beat these small countries. But now at this point now, it just, like I said, it shows who wants it more. These small countries now and small teams are beginning to come out and say, no, this guy is not get too ahead. We have to, beat them. And then this is what we are seeing. Despite being down in the 74th minute, you can't be down in the 74th minute playing against Brazil and still get to salvage and play extra time, 30 minutes extra time, and then
with a man
down, and then you still get to qualify and beat them in penalty shootout. So it's just great that all of this is happening, and it's a good time to be alive to watch football unfold magics like this.
All right, magic everywhere. There's a magic that had gone by, but the fans say they want this magic replayed again. Let's take you to Euro 2024 in Germany, where thousands of fans have petitioned, and let's tell you that outraged German fans have launched a petition to have Anthony Taylor removed from the UEFA referees list and to order a replay of Friday's Euro 2024 quarterfinal between host and Spain. They are fuming with the English officials and his VAR team for failing to award the host a penalty for a handball against Chelsea's Marco Cucurella in their quarterfinal defeat last Friday. Spain won the tie 2-1 in extra time. Is this wishful thinking?
Well, if wishes are roses, right, everybody would have one. So you can only appeal, though definitely I saw a penalty, but the referees, I watched the game, I saw a penalty, but the VAR and the referees,
But do you think that was deliberate?
I don't think that was deliberate, because one, it was just a strike, right? And then the thing just went straight to his hand. I think he was trying to put his hand behind his back.
Yeah.
From the image, you're saying he was trying to put his hand behind his back, but the ball is always faster. Like we always say, the ball is always faster than the human.
But we're told that once the hands are not in natural position, it's a foul.
Yes, because his hand was not in the natural position.
So it should have been a foul.
Yes, it is a penalty. To me, if I was holding the whistle, PA straight, I'm pointing straight down to the 18-yard box, but the referees had other things to say. So at this point, we'll just see what happens if UEFA has a power to
reverse,
overturn and reverse. But
all right, it has never happened in the history of football. All right, let's take the last story and let you know that England's support is expected to be outnumbered for the first time at the Euros when they take on the Netherlands on Wednesday semi-final. Gareth Southgate's men have enjoyed a virtual home field advantage at all of their matches so far, with stadium across Germany awash with the flag of the St. George. However, officials are expecting Ronald Koeman's side to be backed by a majority of what will be a sold-out 80,000 crowd in Dortmund, with a 60-40 split on the cards. Don't forget, Germany and Holland are very closer than England and Germany, so we're going to have more Dutch people at the stadium. How do you see that match? Is that technically the final before the final?
I'm seeing an orange field stadium.
Yeah.
I'm seeing an orange field stadium. you know, it has always been the England fans dominating every time. You know, just like the last semi-final quarterfinals game that they played, they had provision for 6,000 tickets, and then they had 40,000 fans. So this time around, let them see how it feels to be.
But would that affect the Three Lions?
You know, the Three Lions has just been salvaging moments, and I feel it's just by luck that they are still in the competition. But let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens. It's going to be the Three Lions versus the Orange Boys on Wednesday in the semi-final. But let's just give you a quick one from Old Trafford before we call it a wrap on today's edition, just to let you know that Manchester United will hold a recruitment meeting. That's today as they look to push ahead with imminent transfers. Deals are lined up for Bologna's Joshua Zirkzee and Bayern Munich's Matty de Ligt, while they will also determine whether to put forward another bid for Everton centre-back Gerard Brandwaite. Manchester United, these three players are key players for their new season. If they go through with these three players, it means technically Victor Osimhen is out of the picture.
Yes, if they go through with it, that means he's probably going to be out of the picture. But Antonio now, who is saying he doesn't want Victor Osimhen is not part of his plan, but he might probably find a way to fit him in, or maybe Arsenal, no, maybe Chelsea, or he will just go to PSG. But for Manchester United, I see they are trying to work on their defense line, where they had a lot of problems from last season, and again get somebody else in the firepower, because from the look of things the midfield is very, very key, and then they just need to have a very, very good coaching goalkeeper to get Onana on his feet.
Look, this Zirkzee is Dutch. It looks like they are still sticking with more of Dutch players. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, you know, I would say at this point, coaches need to be, loyal to the club's philosophy and just to help the club win. But from now, they have a Dutch coach who has been in Ajax, and then he has poached players from Ajax, where he was coaching before, down to Manchester United. Now he's bringing his homeboys, people from his home country, to come represent and play. So he's trying to, giving, almost said something, but he's trying to give opportunities for.
But that's what we saw Arsene Wenger did when he was Arsenal coach. He brought in a lot of French players, Thierry Henry, Nicolas Anelka, Petit, and all of them from France.
But the bottom line is, if these guys can perform and do the job, then why not?
Good. All right, so that's what we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition. I want to say big thank you for being part of Talk Sport this morning. Big thanks to Samuel Odi for holding it down for 7 days non-stop of big stories in the exciting world of sport, and to the entire team. I want to say thank you for joining us this morning and for looking at Copa America and Euros, and sad news for German fans. There's never going to be a replay of that match between Germany and Spain. So that's how we call it a wrap. My name is Anthony Momodi, the King of Sports.